Hey, what's up you guys, it's Caboose bringing you another Marvel's Avengers video, and today what I got for you guys here is a breakdown of some of the special moves that we got for Thor, as well as a look at some of the different enemy types that we're going to be facing off against in this game. But before we get into everything, I wanted to ask you guys, of course, if at any point you enjoy this video, if you could consider leaving a like rating on it, it would show your support, and I would really appreciate it. So if you enjoy the video at any point, leaving a like rating would be awesome. And if you're new here, well, I'm going to be covering all things Marvel's Avengers, news, updates, gameplay, all that fun stuff. So if you're looking forward to the game, I got you covered. And if you'd like, you can subscribe to the channel and you can hit that notification bell to be immediately notified when a video goes live. And with all that said, well, let's jump into this. So just yesterday, the Avengers Twitter page put out a video that gave us a new look at Thor's ultimate heroic move, which is of course channeling the power of the Bifrost. But as it turns out, if you head to the War Table link for the Avengers website, which I will leave linked in the description, you can see a whole list of GIFs that give us some details about Thor's special moves. So let's break them down. The first ability listed here is known as the Storm Striker, and it's described as this. Storm Striker draws on Thor's innate ability to summon lightning. Charge up an overhead attack that breaks through enemies' defenses and sends out a shockwave of lightning, dealing heavy damage. Storm Striker is great for crowd control. The shockwave destabilizes enemies and can also interrupt attacks. This brief pause in action allows players to initiate finishers or take a moment to revive a fellow player, which is something I didn't know if they confirmed before, but yes, if you do lose all your health and you're playing co-op, you have the ability to be revived, which I'm sure we all thought was pretty obvious. But then it goes on to mention here that the guard ability for the Storm Striker is that it breaks block, the damage is high, the impact is medium, the stun is high, and the reaction is a launch or a slam. I love all the little extra bits of details that we're going to get for all these special moves. It really makes you feel like you can have full control over how you want to build your character. But okay, the next move that we got here is Mjolnir's Flight, and this move lets you throw Thor's hammer with destructive force and pin your enemies in place. Mjolnir stays pinned until recalled, leaving an enemy or enemies high and dry. This lets Thor shake up combat with lightning-powered punches or the other heroic moves in his arsenal. And the damage on this is medium, the impact is medium, it's got a low stun, and its reaction is that it pins enemies. And I've actually got to try this special move when I got to play the A-Day demo. It is a ton of fun. I just can't wait to see what a fully upgraded Thor with this ability attached is going to look like. You know, having the Odin Force in there, just pinning enemies to a wall while you go destroy others with the lightning, that is going to be so sick. But moving on, the next special move is known as God Fury, and the description reads as this. Manipulating the weather via Mjolnir, Thor calls upon a harrowing whirlwind that lifts nearby enemies into the air with God Fury. Once airborne, they are blasted with a powerful bolt of God-powered lightning that inflicts shock damage. When enemies are caught in the whirlwind, it's a great opportunity to set up combo attacks by both Thor and his fellow superheroes. The guard on this breaks block, its damage is high, its impact is high, the stun is low, and the reaction is a launch. This definitely feels like a move that was set up for co-op, you know, lifting those enemies up in the air and having your teammates swoop in and start destroying them while they're suspended in air. But at the same time, Thor also sends that bolt of lightning towards them, so it's got its uses when you're playing by yourself or if you're on your own. The next move is the hammer spin, and we've seen it before. In fact, we've seen all these moves before. It's just that now we have a breakdown of them and what they mean and what they do. But regardless, the hammer spin's description reads as follows. Using his superhuman speed and strength, Thor's lightning quick hammer spin is a powerful attack that hits all enemies in the immediate area with Mjolnir. The rapid pummeling causes increasing damage as each hit connects and is a great move for stunning enemies or setting up stylish takedowns. The damage on this is medium, the impact is low, but it has a high stun and the reaction is light. This looks like a move, you know, where if an enemy is overwhelming you, you hit them with this, the stun on it is high, so hopefully they get stunned long enough for you to just beat them down and take them out. And then last up is the Bifrost, which of course is Thor's ultimate heroic, and this is something that was posted officially on the Avengers Twitter page, but here's the description. Taking advantage of his ability to travel between dimensions, Thor summons the Bifrost in his ultimate heroic. Upon his return to Midgard, a devastating torrent of energy blasts down on his foes from the heavens. The heroic can also be used in a defensive capacity to avoid powerful boss attacks, and skill upgrades can change the properties of the Bifrost. The guard on the move is that it breaks block, the damage is high, the impact is high, the stun is low, and the reaction on it is that it's a launch. So that's pretty interesting. I never thought of that the Bifrost can kind of be used strategically. You don't want to just always use it to deal that devastating damage, and granted, it can do that, but it's cool that it could also be used defensively. If a boss is about to hit you with some crazy attack, you get out of the action and then drop back down on him with that devastating damage. And that's all these special moves and breakdowns that we got currently for Thor that's available on the War Table Avengers website. Hopefully they keep updating this so we can get some details on these special moves for Iron Man, Black Widow, Miss Marvel, and so on. However, people also noticed that there were some details on some of the different enemy types that are going to be available within Marvel's Avengers, and that's listed on this same website. So first up here, we got this guy known as a beekeeper, and it's mentioned here that in Marvel's Avengers, beekeepers are the foot soldiers of AIM's global presence. Given their name for the yellow and honeycomb aesthetic, beekeepers conceal their faces behind hoods and masks for both protection and anonymity. Beekeepers are powered through a variety of unique technology to support their purpose, be it crowd control, immobilization, air support, or close combat. And then next up we got the Adaptoids, which you're seeing on screen right now, and the description for them reads as such: a secret program led by George Tarleton. Little is known about the Adaptoid project's cutting-edge technology. In Marvel lore, Adaptoids were built from a combination of powerful artifacts and elements, allowing them to mimic and master the moves of anyone they come in contact with, namely the Avengers. Based on that description and knowing that Taskmaster plays a role as one of the villains in the game, I wonder if Crystal Dynamics has a plan to make it so that Taskmaster works with George Tarleton to help build these Adaptoids so that they have that ability to help mimic the people that they're facing off against. But then last up here on some of the different enemy types that we got listed are the Dreadbots, and it's mentioned here that in Marvel's Avengers, Dreadbots are a powerful foe with high defense and offensive abilities. They leave the factory floor equipped with side turrets for ranged attacks and flame vents for counter melee encounters. Dreadbots has scorpion-like tails and come in two varieties. One has a grenade cannon that does AoE damage, and the other has a deadly laser at the end of its appendage. And we did see these Dreadbots showcased during that Once in Avengers mission, which we saw on the Avengers War Table stream, and we also saw a bit of the Adaptoids too, so we've certainly got an idea as to what these different enemy types are like when you're going to be facing off against them in gameplay. And that just about rounds out all the news that I got for you guys today. And with that said, I now want to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Out of all the different Thor moves that I broke down for you guys, which one sounds the coolest or looks the coolest? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, if you could consider leaving a like rating on it, it would show your support and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.